Hey, suck. Come on. Come on, girl. Go.
Good evening, Penny Pincher Farm gang members.
Come on, girl. Go.
We're here Monday midday. March the, what in the world day is it? The 20th? 21st, 2nd? I don't know what day it is. That's how you know you're having a good time, when you don't know what day of the month it is. I just know that it's Monday. And I know that it's a pretty day in March.
21st. March 21st.
21st, Junior says. We're putting the cows, we've rode the reel back, and we're moving the cows over to the back 40, you could say. We got her first baby right there. First baby of 22. That's her, Mommy, right there. And the last two that we've had back there are bringing up the rear. And me and Junior has come to the conclusion that the hay feeding is over with for this year. We unrolled that hay right there about 2 weeks ago, and they ain't touched it. So that tells us they ain't interested in no hay. They're into the hay, or into the grass eating business now, and I don't blame them. It is growing here in eastern Kentucky. And I believe, just judging by the looks of things, right there will be her next mommy. Her udders is filled out big time, and her back end is swelled out like crazy. So she could have a calf today.
She's in the nose.
You can see it just a wiggling and a jiggling all over. You see one of your cows looking like that right there, you're fixing to have a baby. She's all filled out. We'll get out of the way, and them new mommies will bring their babies on over. We're going to give them this back half, but you see what they're doing. It's been about it's probably been about 3 weeks since we've been on this half of the farm. And this new grass is just coming up like crazy. We're glad to see it too. We're ready to start moving. We're in the spring notion. We got our garden turned over. I'm going to turn this one over here too. At the farm, we're here all the time, so it only makes sense that we put one of our gardens out here. Come across something new, maybe something if somebody that's here watching is into the regenerative ag stuff. You probably are if you're watching any of our videos. I watched a YouTube series the other day called Back to Eden, and it was a gardener. I think he was in Washington State, and he puts wood chips on his garden every year and has done it for like 30 years. And the thought behind it is his compost. He's making his compost pile out of his garden. So we're thinking bad hard about maybe starting something like that. I think I'm going to do it at my house in the little garden first, just to see how it pans out. The first couple years, they say, is not nothing to brag about, just because you're not building your soil up. But the idea of putting the wood chips on it and composting it is, over the years, the quality of your soil. Look here, I'm sorry, I'm pointed right up at the heavens. The quality of your soil gets better year after year when you keep adding those wood chips on it. And that dude on YouTube, of course, he probably had it all figured out a lot more than I do, but no weeds. When you put the wood chips on there, you don't have no weeds, you don't have none of that stuff. So it sounds too good to be true. Most of the time when stuff like that is said and it sounds like that, it probably is too good to be true. But it's worth trying anyway. I'm all about the regenerative ag stuff, a better way of doing. So I'm going to try it anyway. You don't know nothing till you try it. But you step back and you take a big look at the big picture, though. The conventional way of farming, you till the land, you take your hay from the land every year after year, and you have to keep buying the commercial fertilizers to put back on it. You just think about it for a minute. You're robbing the soil every time you take a crop off the land and you leave it bare. And the way the rotational grazing is, the way the wood chip thing is, you're never disturbing the soil. You're always putting back in. You're never taking out. It's like kind of like these pasture fields. We're never cutting them for hay, so we're never taking nothing from it. Yeah, the cows is eating it, but as soon as they eat a little spot, we move them, and it's weeks before they come back to that spot, and it gives that ground time to recover and regrow. And by the time we come back to it, it's ready to rock and roll again. So I mean, I'm trying to think about this stuff the way that God created it, the simple way, the way that it's designed to do, and it's designed for rest and recovery, just like we are. If you work all the time with no rest, you're eventually going to break. And that's the same way our soul is, and we've been doing the same old stuff the same old way for a long time now, and we're starting to see the results of that. I mean some of this ground out in the western part of the United States that's been continually row cropped for years and years and years, it's done for. You can tell by looking at it. It cracks and hard as can be, and that's the same way with us with our gardens. Why you have to move them every so many years if you don't put the nutrients back in the soil that you're taking out. If you don't move it, you're just depleting it, and it won't grow nothing. So that's just a little tidbit of what I had on my mind this morning. What we got going on here at the farm. We're gonna try the wood chipping thing on our garden maybe this year. But in the meantime, we're gonna enjoy the new babies that we got here at the farm. They are doing good. And I'm hoping by the end of this week we might at least have one more, possibly two more. But the grass is taking back into growing big time. And we're liking it, and the cows is liking it, and they're showing it too. Now that baby right there is fixing to have a calf, hopefully in the next month. She's good and fat. All of them's that way. And that's with stockpile grass and hay. Take a look over the hill here. What all they'll be able. I asked the farm manager today, Junior, if he wanted to go ahead and start intensively grazing. And what we mean by that is putting up her paddocks and making every couple 2 or 3 day moves again, like we normally do all summer long. And he said no. He said, I think we'll be all right. Just turn them loose on this for another week. So probably next weekend we'll start back into intensively rotating. And because our grass by then, given warmer weather, our grass will really be kicking in, growing, and we'll be really able to see the results of our labor then. But like we say, we got a lot going on the farm right now. Things is growing. We got our chickens coming here in the next few weeks, hopefully, and we're looking forward to getting in on that and bringing you guys along with us. Looks like Junior's ready to roll. He's heard all the talking he wants to hear today. But guys, keep your heads up. Springtime's here. Bring your sunscreen back out. It's supposed to be up to 70 degrees here today, and I hope it gets every bit of it. So you might get a little suntan on your bald head if it looks like mine. But we're glad to be a grazing, glad the warmer weather's here. That little calf's are feeling good too. So guys, have a good week. We'll check back in with you later. Have a good day.